that is a wrap on 2023. We are at the end of the year, and now I just can't help but look back over the year and see what products really stuck out with me towards the end of the year. Maybe that I started with, maybe stuff that I couldn't stop reaching for, stuff that I repurchased. And I'm honestly shocking myself in this year's roundup, like specifically, because there's stuff in here I thought I would never like, and there's stuff missing in here that I never would have thought. So let's jump into how did 2023 do with beauty products? Let's do it. First and foremost this year, I fell in love early in the year with some amazing skincare. No one will be shocked if you've seen some of these in my BoxyCharm best and worst. Some things are going to trickle in a little bit, but they're truly my best ofs, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna talk a lot though about the stuff that I already have if they are in my BoxyCharm video though, so be sure to go check that out. I know the holidays are busy. You've probably missed some videos, so be sure to check them out. Drunk Elephant is amazing. Yes, it is super expensive. Although no, it's probably not meant for 11 and 12-year-olds. Apparently they're asking for it for the holidays. I love this. This is so amazing for my skin. I have been sick, and I told you guys this was the product that really has made my skin not look like I'm sick, and I was sick for weeks. So love, love, love the fact that Drunk Elephant has come into my life. Also, really quickly, I have to tell you, it's not a lie. This is the product that I have been loving all year long. I got this in February and have not stopped using it for my under eye. I talked about it in my BoxyCharm video, but this is the Eye Bright Now Under Eye Serum. Love this. So good for brightening the under eyes. It just makes me more awake. Less dark circles for sure. This is a product that is 2 years in the running, and I'm not sorry that I'm going to tell you again. The Mud Masky Under Eye Vitamin Infused Eye Serum is still one of the top products I love and rave about. I use this one in the evenings, and I use this one in the mornings, and my under eyes are the best they have ever been thanks to these products. I love them. Something new for me this year though was an evening cream, and I thought I was out of it, but I realized I moved it because I thought I'd make it top of mind in the place that I misplaced it. Leave it to me to do something like that. This is the Fenty Skin Hydra Reset. This is a product I love for my hands and feet this time of year. I will use it in bed specifically, like right before bed, and I wake up with the most soft skin on my hands and feet. This is actually a hand mask, but I find using it on my feet, especially if I want to put some socks on, perfect for those dry feet. And I mean, Adam appreciates it too, but we're not gonna harp on that. Moving on. A lot of you guys know for 4 years now running, Peach and Lily, the Glass Skin Refining Serum, has been my go-to face serum in the mornings to really set up my day. And lately I have been mixing it with something that I'm really sad is going to be going away. I already talked about this, so I'm only going to briefly mention the Earth Harbor Marina mixed in with my Peach and Lily really does great things for my skin. Having that good canvas this year in particular has been crucial for me because honestly this year I've been a lot more makeup light. I'm specifically thinking kind of over the summer going into fall, and then it kind of rolled into winter honestly too. I really needed my skin to be that extra bright, even toned canvas because I did a lot of barefaced days or very minimal makeup days, and I'm going to get into some of those favorites as well that just kept being my go-tos that I would reach for. This year was really surprising as far as primers went for me because really the Drugstore had it for me. This is going to be a combination honestly of high-end and Drugstore throughout the rest of the video, and Drugstore took over my primer base section of this by a landslide. How you doing, e.l.f.? e.l.f. has always been a great brand that I have loved, but this year I found myself just like mostly hanging out in that category. It's crazy. So obviously we have the e.l.f. Skin Suntouchables Invisible Sunscreen Primer that is so good. I actually have that on today. But I fell in love also with the e.l.f. Niacinamide. It's like a super duper sticky base. Hence the reason it is called the Power Grip Primer. It is not just marketing, it is legit how it grabs to your face and really helps anything else you're putting on top of it. I will mostly use this though if I'm gonna do like foundations and concealers. This product I could use if I'm just doing, well, almost nothing, and it's great. I could put on light makeup days or heavy makeup days. I'm wearing this today, and I would call this, for me, a heavy makeup day. I love when it's like amazing quality products on the inexpensive, please and thank you. Now, I did not know about this product before this year. This is a product that I now am scraping the sides of, and I'm definitely gonna be purchasing another one as far as a foundation goes. And this foundation has kind of kicked out all my other foundations that I have loved historically for years and years. It feels dramatic to me to have this be the only foundation on my desk today. And it's not because the other ones still aren't good and that I'm not going to use them, because I absolutely will. But this one came in and just really took over as being a part of my favorites. It started as like a PR, something that was sent to me to try, and I've literally never stopped using it. It's that good. I'm not sponsored. This isn't anything that they even know I'm talking about this right now. It's just truly something that I've not stopped using because of how good it looks on my skin. Some of you guys kept asking me in previous videos, I've caught it like in my comment section being like, days and weeks later being like, wait, what foundation are you wearing? What foundation did you say you've been using? Because your skin just looks so good, but natural. And it's this. This is the MICCILO Soft Matte Foundation. This foundation has really pulled me away from anything else that I have been using for a super long time. Today I feel like I have a lot of makeup on, and it's not just this. There's a lot of powders on, there's a lot of creams on. So keep that in mind if you're like, oh girl, this doesn't look very like natural. I've worn this on natural days. You can build it up or you can have a light amount. This foundation is so creamy. It blurs my imperfections. I feel like it really smooths and glides with the skin, kind of becomes one with the skin. It's a full coverage foundation, but I have found that it's just more like if I use a sponge with it, it just makes my skin look like I have maybe like a light filter on when it's just this. I really love it, and it lasts all day long. For me personally, I will have my link below for it. It's not sponsored though, it's just my personal like affiliate link for this product, but you can look it up on your own if you don't want to use that. But when you use a content creator's affiliate link, it's just like tipping them for doing all of the work for you behind the scenes, and it's just nice. But it is the MICCILO foundation, and I love it. I'm literally scraping the sides of it because it is so good. My current shade right now is Buff Beige. I could go a little bit lighter this time of year, but it does still blend pretty well with my fair skin too. This is one of my favorites right now. It has definitely beat out even my CoverGirl that I've talked about for years and years. Not that I don't love that, not that I'm not going to use it, but this is what I've been using. This has been my go-to foundation every single day for every single season. It also has enough, I would say, luminosity to it that it doesn't give me the cake face. It makes my skin look juicy. Like, I'm not wearing any highlighters today, but my skin still looks juicy. It still looks very even. It doesn't look like it's patchy. It doesn't like grip to it like, I don't know, cake face. It's just not doing any of that. I love it. And it's been my go-to now for months and months and months. If I'm just wanting to have an easy light day though, and I'm not even wanting a foundation, I'm just wanting to pop on some sunscreen and go, which I've done a lot this year. It started like in the summertime, and then through the rest of the year, I've just been doing easy breezy days. I bought another one of these because I used up the first one. And I've loved this product for years, so you probably won't be shocked. I do want to find a lighter color, and I do think they have one shade lighter in my Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand. I love doing this just under the eyes. I take that back. It's not just under the eyes. I started loving it under the eyes because then you press it in, and what this product does is it illuminates so you don't have any dark circles. And again, if you use some great skincare, you're not going to have much of those anyway, but it just makes the skin look healthy. It gives it that nice juicy glow where you have that youthful bouncy looking skin. I love this because a lot of times what I'll do now is I'll start under the eyes and then I'll just work the product kind of around like this upper half of my face, and that's all I'll do. And I'll go out and do errands, and it just makes my skin look nice and healthy, glowy, but not shiny in a oily way. Just makes you look like you have that healthy, I've gotten that nice outside suntan glow. And that's also kind of why I love this color. The color I have is a glow. I mean, it makes sense. Now, if I'm wanting to do a full beat like I am today. I used my MICCILO, and I have really also kicked out this year some of my other top contenders. It's just one of those years where I'm finding amazing base products. And Natasha Denona comes through again, and this time it's with the concealer. This is the Hyglam concealer from Natasha Denona. I have talked about this pretty regularly since I fell in love with it. Mine is the shade N6. I do have a neutral undertone, and I will be honest, I have even just used this as a foundation. Truly, because I just noticed how much I love the coverage of this. It's very pliable. It's very forgiving. It definitely allows the creasing under the eyes to just be whisked away, kind of mellow out everything on the face, give it a nice even tone. I have taken this, used a sponge, and then just kind of like pulled it everywhere else across my face, and I've just fallen in love with how it looks. This has kicked out all of my other concealers, quite honestly. Not that I've gotten rid of them, I'm still gonna use them up, I need to. But since I got this, this has been my go-to top of mind one. And when I use, oh, it sounds so bad, but when I go and I use some of my other concealers just to, like, you know, use them up, I feel disappointed in how the under eyes look. I feel disappointed in how it sits or it lives on my face because, you know, through the day matters. And the way that this lays on my eyes is consistent from morning to evening to afternoons, all the things. Whereas other stuff, it's just like reminds me they're not as good as this. So is it pricey? Yeah. But is it amazing quality and worth the investment if that's what you need? Yeah, I think so. I do have now a Natasha Denona affiliate code as well, so you can save 20% even if you don't use my code. Using someone else's code, save the money, honey. Ooh, I may have a discount code also for my MICCILO as well to save 20%. I'll be sure to put those in my description box down below as well. Now, I also have these two products, not in like a skincare category or the category you may think they'll be in. I have to say, like I said, I shocked myself this year with how minimal my makeup was. And you guys know I love a full beat. Like today, I was like, I'm gonna give you the full enchilada because you deserve it. These are my year-end videos. I feel like I have to dress up for them and make them a full moment on my channel, and I'm not sorry. But when I'm wanting a more, you know, day-to-day look, I will reach for these, and my skin looks so good. Looks so good. Now, you heard me talk about how much I love my Tarte under my eyes just to make it just like that nice glowiness. So if you're wanting something less glowy, but you're still wanting something to mask the under eye circles and just be something you can have under the eyes to just go about your day without putting on makeup, I still recommend the old Henriksen. She's not gonna be pretty. I've used her up a lot this year. Banana Bright Vitamin CC Stick. Like I said, she's not pretty, but it's because I have used her because I love this product so much, and it is pricey, but I'm already trying to figure out where to get my next one. I genuinely love putting this just under the eyes, kind of balancing it out with my fingertip or sometimes a sponge, but I feel like the sponge takes away too much product, so I suggest the fingertips for this one. Whereas the Tarte, you could use a sponge and you're gonna be fine either way, depends on how much product you're wanting. And this year I fell in love with something that went really viral, and for me, that's not normal. Generally, I don't tend to go into the trends, I just go with what works with my skin, and I was really shocked that I leaned into this one so hard, and I fell in love with this product. You couldn't escape this product this year, it felt like. If you're just now discovering it in this favorites video, you did a better job than me than avoiding the trends this year. So this is the Drunk Elephant Debronzi. Put these drops in my more skin tint area. I have found, because I put so much SPF on my face as well, my face is always a bit paler, but as you can see here, this just gives a nice subtle glow. I have used this just as a bronzer, but I've also used this just as like a face tint. It does beautiful things for the skin. This has cocoa extract peptides in it. It's good for your skin, but also it gives you that little bit extra. And I fell in love with this product this year. Used her up quite a bit, and I'm excited to reintroduce this into my like just daily wear use once it gets a little bit warmer. But in the meantime, I even use this just on bare days when I'm just wanting a little bit more warmth to the face. Love it. This is just so good. The next products that I'm going to tell you about are something that I did not think I would ever come to. I have been a die-hard powder lover when it comes to my makeup in general. But I keep trying the creams. I do. I keep giving it the old college try and have for years now, it feels like. But nothing was really working for my skin type. I do have very sensitive skin, but I also have very bossy pores. I find that sometimes with my type of skin, creamy products just don't glide well or lay well or stay. I don't know what's so different about these particular bronzing sticks, but I'm wearing them today, and that's really the only bronzer I have on my face today, and I love them. And they're from Merit Beauty, which are known for a little bit more of their basic skincare, like fresh face. So you could wear these as a natural girly, but clearly with my face today, you can tell you can also wear them if you're going for full glam. So Merit calls these their bronze balms, and I think they are great for the skin. They go really well on the nose, they go really well on the forehead, the cheeks. They do a beautiful job of applying to. Blending them in is honestly a dream. I just use not even a damp beauty sponge. I've been using a dry beauty sponge as well, and it goes beautifully into the skin. Everything lays well, it lasts. I even use it for some nose contour. I can't get over how good these are, and I just keep finding myself going back to something. And I have always said for myself, that's how I can tell a product is really standing out to me, is if I organically go, ooh, what I used yesterday wasn't as good. I want to go back to this. And I love powders, as a lot of you guys know. I do have one powder bronzer in here if creams are not your favorite. That I've loved now for about 2 straight years. But these have really become my showstoppers and the things that I reach for on the regular. I really have. And it shocks me because I was never a cream girl. Like ever. You guys have seen the evolution of this. It's been a rough ride. So if you're looking for a more traditional bronzer, I have fallen in love a long time ago with the iconic London Ultimate Bronzing Powder. It is in this massive component here. As you can tell, it's pretty much as big as my head. But look at the pan on this. This gives you the full endorsement that you need. Does she really use it? Yeah, pretty darn regularly. This one is in the shade Light Bronze, and as you can see, I love this. It is a very creamy, very smooth bronzer. It's great for contouring on the nose, for just some natural day, going in the eyes, on the face, everything. I have used this. I've traveled with this. I love this. Really, really do. It's just kind of taken a back seat to my creamy bronzers, or what I'll do if I've noticed maybe once I get a tan, these aren't dark enough, I will use these, layer them up, and then do just a little bit on top with this bronzer. Love them. So, so good. Or if you're more natural, if you're kind of like, you know what, I just want a little bit of warmth. Something I've been using one of my favorite powders for specifically this year were my Fenty Pro Filter powders. I found that this, was a bit too much blur and coverage. How have I said that? It's a little too much blur and coverage for me of where my skin has been this year. It's been a crazy year for me, I guess, because I've changed a lot of things about my makeup styles. The Fenty Pro Filter Cashew Powder, so good. Cashew is the shade. Banana's like the next shade you could get, and it's too yellow for me. I have tested that. So, there's also honey, but that one doesn't go well with me either. Cashew is really a great undertone for me because I have a neutral undertone, but it's too dark for me right now, so I have used this as a bronzer. And it gives you just that same amount of blur and coverage and smoothness to the skin without it being like too much. Like I feel like it is when I put it all over my face. Because I loved this when we were all doing that big like whole blur face thing, which it's amazing, I'm not gonna lie. But I've kind of found a new way to use this more as like a bronzing powder on top of maybe my cream bronzers, or if I'm just doing a light day, I'll just take a brush and just lightly use this powder because it seems to really move with the skin nicely, and it acts more as a powder than a bronzer in a way because it's loose. So you have a lot more control about where you put it, how much you're using. I love it. It's so good, and I've been using this as a bronzer really, instead of a powder, because it was too much blur. How did we get here? I don't know. Sometimes I forget a blush, which no one is shocked by if you've been following me for a while, because I've always been more of a bronzy girl. But I have fallen in love with a cream blush. You may have heard me talk about it in my best of with BoxyCharm, so I won't harp on this too long. but this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Yes, I got a lot of that this year and I use it. This is the shade Pink Dahlia. I mean, it's kind of a fun name too. In the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Blush. I was thinking it had like a fancier name, but it just says Stick Blush. I used a little bit of this today, just popped it on the tops of my cheeks. I don't like to use the brush that it comes with though. I prefer a sponge because I don't want a lot of the pink rosiness that I know has been on trend for a while, but I think that's gonna be going away soon. The really, really vibrant blush. Some people aren't even using blush these days. It just kind of depends on your personal preference. But this has really been my go-to blush for most of the year since I got this. Truly. I'm shocked too because I don't know. I didn't think I'd become a cream girl ever, but some things are good enough that I just only reach for them. Now, I don't really want to bore you, but I have to give credit where credit is due. So when I'm telling you that these are truly the products I'm using, and yeah, you've seen them before, just trust that I think that they're that good then. So if you like the way certain pieces of my makeup lay, you can know what they are. And e.l.f. is still my go-to for my brows. I have the e.l.f. Ultra Precision Brow. I like a very thin tip to work out the front part of my brows a lot, or create and carve out a shape. I love that. So I love that a lot, and I love my Wow brows. I just think they're so good. Really, those are the only things in my brows today. I love that I get a good amount of coverage. I love that it adds some hair-like strokes. Kind of, I don't know if it's actually fibers that you get from it, but it definitely looks like it. My brows always look amazing when I use this, to the point that I've rebought this more times than I can honestly remember. Some of my ultimate favorites that I cannot live without are these products, but I will say if even e.l.f., which is getting a bit pricier, is too expensive for you, I have been loving the AOA Slim Brow as well. It's very similar to the e.l.f. Definer Pencil, and these are $1 on the AOA Shop Miss A website. So you can check that out too. The e.l.f. pencil is a little on the dry side, but I like that about this particular pencil because anything too creamy maybe wouldn't work as well or last as well for what I need. So this is the e.l.f. one, and I think it does a gorgeous job. And this one is the AOA. Now this one is creamier. This one requires less work to get the product out, but sometimes the creaminess doesn't last as well on my brows, at least up here towards the front, or maybe I have to draw in a little bit more. But they're both really great brow pencils, and I love them. I'm not even telling you about many brow products because this year became so minimalistic for me. I usually had like a 3 to 4 step process for my brows. Now I'm down to about 1 to 2. So that's, you know, growth for me. Also, it's just the way sometimes makeup trends are. When brows get to be more natural, I get to use less products. So this is another part of the video where I'm still in shock and have my drawers open next to me just to be like, what am I forgetting? Because now I'm going to talk about eyeshadow palettes. And if you know me, you know eyeshadow palettes have always been that very exciting thing for me. I love doing my eyes. I think that's a fun part of the makeup. I think a lot of it's fun, but the eyes for me can just be the most fun. However, I don't know if it's trends rubbing off on me or just me wanting to go live my life more versus sit in my beauty room doing my makeup all day long. Like I said, I've been leaning into a lot more simplistic makeup this year, and that also reflected in my eye looks, which I never thought would happen to me. So I only have 2 eyeshadow palettes to talk to you about for the entirety of the year of 2023. I don't know how this is possible. Now that doesn't mean I didn't use other eyeshadow palettes, because clearly I got a bunch from like Ipsy and BoxyCharm, and I was always reviewing and trying things multiple times. But the things that I would go back to that I just wanted to use because I trusted the product, even though one of them's a little bit older and one of them's newer, but honestly, it's just these 2. And I still can't believe it. So I bought myself from like, was it a Marshall's? The Too Faced Chocolate Gold Palette. Yes, this is not big news. This is old news. Very, very old news for YouTube specifically. But this is the product I go to a lot. I, a lot of times, just love this creamy base because it is super opaque. You can get an amazing base for your lids so you can have any look you want going forward. But it's so opaque that I have found that it will last. And then when I put anything on top of this product, It blends so well. It gives you that color pigment. There's nothing underneath it that is distracting, and it'll last. You can like carve out more looks with it. If you go too crazy in your crease, you could go back with a little bit of this, and it makes everything seamless and smooth, and I love this. So a lot of times I'll even just use maybe these 2-3 colors. These are 3 mattes here, and go about my life, or I'll use one of these shimmers to jump in and give myself a little bit of life. I've been leaning less into shimmers this year and more into mattes, and I have a lot of all matte products. I do, that are so good. Like, I love my Viseart palette. I've used that a couple times this year. Well, more than a couple, but you know what I mean. What this I was using consistently along with my newer Natasha Denona palette. I got this for Christmas last year, and because this Glam palette is more of a cool toned, I wasn't sure this time last year how often I would use it. But I knew I was excited about it, and I knew I was using it since I got it. But I can tell you now that it's been an entire year, we've had a solid year with this baby, it's become my favorite palette. Because there are more colors to it than I thought at first. Like, these are more warm tones. I didn't really realize this had warm tones. It does have warm tones, at least warmer compared to what's in here. We've got warm tones, we've got cool tones. Obviously, this formula blends so beautifully. I'm wearing some of these shades today and some of these shades today. I love it. And I can find new uses for it. Like today, I put the brow bone shade on my lids instead of up here, and I feel like I got an entirely different look. And is that true? Probably not. But I love today's look, but I did different things with both of these palettes that I hadn't before because I'm still in a very neutral girl moment. I think that's also just kind of the way of makeup now, but I love how this looks. I love how this lays. I love how this lasts and blends. And I also, even when I have a more colorful palette that maybe I'm trying or reviewing or just want to play with some color, I still like to go to one of these or both of these for the base, where I can get the base going, the cream going, and then build upon it with some color. So like, even if I was doing a bold look, these were somewhere in the mix because I love them and trust them. And I know I can rely on the formula to be good. So old and new, this is what my heart has been at this year. I don't have a pile of eyeshadows. I really don't. It's been these two, and I'm still pretty satisfied with all of that. I'm looking at something on my desk that I've been trying for 2-3 days now that is honestly gonna be a worst category, and I don't know if I'm doing a worst video this year, so stay tuned. In January, I'm gonna be telling you at least some faves and fails, because maybe just fails. Maybe just a fails video, because there's some stuff in here that didn't work. Stay tuned. Be subscribed. Even though I told you guys all year long I got a ton of liners this year, so many liners, it's insane. I don't have any liners in my favorites category because I don't use a lot of liners, but something I did fall in love with this year to the point that even though I have other good mascaras, this has been the only one I've wanted. I've even brought other ones to travel with me along with this one, and I still only wanted to use this one because it's so consistently good. When you have to wait a while for something to be good, and sometimes if your lashes aren't laying right, it doesn't look as great as it could, I got annoyed, and I just wanted this mascara this year. So since I discovered it, I think about mid-year, it's the only one I've wanted. This is the Milani Anti-Gravity Mascara. I learned about this mascara from some of my other favorite content creators who loved it and raved about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try this. Truly, this mascara is a game changer for me. I'm so glad that I discovered this year, and it's honestly replaced some of my other favorites, like my Essence, which is like $4.99, and I love that we don't have to spend a ton of money on, you know, high value, high quality makeup. I can say the same for Milani. No, it's not $4.99, but I wish it was. That'd be amazing. It's still drugstore, and it's even better for me because it doesn't flake, and every now and again I'd have some Essence that would flake. Not every time, but sometimes. But this lash product works so well. It really pumps up my lashes, and then it'll keep them up. Now, I have the type of lashes though that grow out and want to stay down, so I will do a second pump after they dry just a little bit to like push them up, and then they stay up so much better than any other things that I have tried. So this really has been my holy grail this year. I love this mascara so much for the volume and the curl and the length it gives you. It just fans them beautifully. So it has like a false lash effect, and it doesn't even say that. It just says Anti-Gravity Mascara. And it's highly rated because it's this good. I went out of my way to try a lot of different things this year, and the only, well, I guess I could technically talk about one other lip. I have 2 lip liners now. I was only gonna have one, but I do have 2 because honestly, I have rotated between these two the absolute most out of my collection. And I have quite a few lip liners from having subscription boxes, from buying a lot of stuff on my own. My favorite that I'm wearing right now and that I traveled with is the Patrick Ta Precision Lip Crayon in the shade She's Strong. It's this very like brown muted tone, which, let's be serious, for a neutral girl, we love that. I feel like it's also decently close to my lip color. Obviously it's a lot closer to the lip colors I put on top of my lips because my lips are actually a little bit more pink than this, but it does a beautiful job because it's creamy enough to go on, but then it'll stay. It doesn't move around too much. It doesn't get like, you know, where you get that smudginess around your lips so it looks like grandma kissed you all over your face and you got all the messes. It doesn't look like that. It gives you a nice lippy pout, which I love. Has great lastability, so if anything you're wearing on top of your lips tends to like come off, which it can and will, this is still gonna be there. I love it, so creamy, such a great quality that I thought I lost this. I thought I lost it in a recent handbag while I was traveling, and I got really upset. And I thought, that's it, I'm just gonna go have to buy it again. And then I realized it was $26, and I was like, am I gonna buy another lip liner for $26? And I literally hesitated for half a second and went, yes, I will, because it is this good. And luckily I found it in a different handbag. So I just was confused where I put it. And then I found it and was super happy. But again, it's like 26 bucks. But I was ready to fork out that money to have this again because I love the color. I love the formula. I love the way it wears and the way it lasts. Love it. I also really love Basic Beauty. I got this from a subscription box, and this became one of my other holy grails. It's very creamy, goes on super smooth. This one does have a little bit more, I don't know, spreadability to it if you wanted to, but as you can see, it really stayed there. When I'm wearing a more pink tone, orange tone, terracotta tone, I will literally not only line my lips up, I'll fill it all in. This sucker stays. It is so good, so creamy. I had little expectations from something that was called Basic Beauty. I don't know the brand very well. It just is kind of basic packaging, and it's more of a stick pencil. I'm not really into the pencil types normally. This is so good. So good. Love it. One of my top favorites. So this traveled with me, and this traveled with me. That's all I needed. All I needed. I usually have like 17 different things in every category for these videos, but I don't this year because I'm finding the cream of the crop and just telling you about those. I've got some go-to bullet lippies, and I even have a liquid lipstick. Now bear with me because when you hear liquid lipstick, you may be going back to, you know, that really drying product. This wasn't, and it really, the color reminded me of my favorite color I used to get from ColourPop that they discontinued. I hate when they do that because sometimes the colors were so perfect for your undertone and your skin tone. This one is from REM Beauty. I discovered it while shopping one day at like Ulta. This is the shade Leave a Message, and look how it glides on. It's so beautiful. I'm wearing this today. I think this is so stunning. It reminds me a lot of like the shade Aquarius. This formula is so much better than that formula was from ColourPop because not only does it stay and does it last, but it does not tighten on your lips where you're like, so uncomfortable. Now it's still gonna dry down. It smells good though. It's got like a vanilla sweet scent to it. Cupcakey. I also love the doe foot. I just think this is super complimentary to a lot of lips. Not only does this product though last and stay put and is a beautiful color that I've been searching for a very long time, but also it doesn't tighten to that point that you just feel uncomfortable. Yes, we're still in like a gloss phase anyway, so I put stuff on top anyway, but if I don't, I'm not, totally put out by how tightening it can get. But leaning into the next things that I've been loving, I've been putting sometimes that down and sometimes I'll just do these by themselves. And they're the Anastasia Beverly Hills Satin Lipsticks. I touched on these briefly in my Faves and Fails with BoxyCharm. Now there's a ton in that video, so definitely check that out if you have missed it. And yes, these are both of the Nude Persuasion that I got from my box, but clearly that is what I love. Warm Peachy, one's a little bit more taupe. These are just the satin lipsticks, and I find that they last well, they wear well, they're beautiful. I love them. And as someone who's never been much of like a bullet lippy type girl, if I mention them, it's because they're a standout and there's something special about them, and I can't always articulate what it is. I love that they're satin. I love that they glide onto the lips and that they last, but also super easy to apply. Super nice. And I'm still on my Tarte kick with the Maracuja, like, what are they called? Lip juicy lips. One of them's a juicy lip, and now they have the lip plumps out. I have like 3 of each of these. That's what I'm actually wearing on top today, although I have had a drink since then. So Adam doesn't like these, I'll be honest. I wear them less when we're going out these days because he doesn't like, with the lip plump version, how tingly they feel when I give him a smooch, or we go to the movies a lot and we always get a drink. So when we share a drink, which we always do, he feels the tingliness from the straw and he's like, what are you wearing on your lips? And I was like, oh, it's this. And he's like, could you not wear that when we're sharing a drink? So they've been a little less top of mind when I'm out and about, but when I'm in the house or when I'm doing a video or when I'm just putting on makeup and I'm not going to the movies with my husband, I love those. But when I am going to the movies, I'll just use the juicy lip or one of these. Or I'll even try to be nice to him and not wear anything so I'm not transferring any kisses to him. But you know, it's fine. He's fine. I do love how juicy they make the lips look, because if you overline just a touch with something like the Patrick Ta and then you just kind of reach out to it, your lips look so juicy. And I'm gonna be real, I've tried a lot of things this year as far as mists go for my face for setting down my makeup, and I have not liked anything nearly as much as my all-nighter. I had to buy a mini version for traveling because I like it that much, and this is the only one I currently have. It is so much better than anything else I've tried, and that stinks because I used to think there were some drugstore dupes that would work as well as. I've rediscovered them and decluttered them this year because I retried the Wet n Wild. I've not retried the NYX one. Maybe I should retry the NYX one. But I thought the Wet n Wild for such a long time was such a great dupe. I disagree now. Disagree. Do you guys have a more inexpensive one that you love? Tell me. Also, I have found I am loving leaning back into lashes these days. And what I've been doing as far as lashes go is just using individuals. I actually just used up an entire case and bought a new pair right before this video. So that is also an endorsement, and I do reuse them. These are the Ardell little individual trios, so you get 3 little knotted ones together. And I just tend to focus right on the outside here and just do like maybe 3 to 4 right outside here on the edge. And with this Milani mascara on my regular lashes, it just kind of like, these are staying up with the outside ones. I think it really like accentuates my particular eye shape. I think it's a really nice cat eye look. I've loved this combination quite a bit. Now, I will tell you, there's a little bit more to go through, and I do have some hair conversations to have with you. I did get a Shark Flex style for Christmas, and I'm playing around with that, hence the waves today. I even put up a short of me trying it as well, so I'm gonna be giving you guys a more thorough review on that in the future, but I want you to know that's what I'm currently playing with to get some body in my hair. But there's been some other things that have really saved the game for me hair-wise this year. I fell in love with Function of Beauty this year. I've also been using their shampoos and their conditioners for curly wavy hair and straight hair. I told you guys over the summer in August, Adam and I did an ocean dunk every single day. Well, that's not always the nicest for somebody with longer hair. So what I started using on the regular was the conditioner and this soft bounce texturizing spray. I used this regularly in August specifically to save my hair, along with the conditioner as well when I would go into the shower after all of my ocean dunks, because my hair was not used to that. And this actually made my hair look presentable because I couldn't do like full styling all the time. So this was actually helping me to have some natural body, natural waves to my hair. It looked amazing. And then when I would actually do some things with my hair, I love also their foam. Like I said, their shampoos and conditioners. Function of Beauty really came through for me this year, and I loved that. I also do love, if I'm wanting some more creamy products, like the Curl Tuck. Their defining cream, but also their dry shampoo are some of my favorites from Not Your Mother. And there is another hair tool that I have loved all throughout the year. It is always in my Amazon links. It is a blow dryer as well, that if the Shark is out of your budget but you're still wanting something to give you volume, I have something that I love that is going to always be in my links for you as well. I think it is so quality, and I've loved it for about 1.5 years now. But I'll keep you updated on the Shark. You guys, this has been another entire year of beauty products, and I love doing the reviews for you guys. Do you guys want to see the things that failed me this year? Should I be uploading that in January for you guys? Let me know in the comments below. I've loved doing another solid year of reviewing makeup with you, trying and testing things. Let me know what you'd like to see more of and what maybe video ideas you have for 2024. I'm so excited. I will see you in the next one. Happy New Year! Bye, friends.